19 million gallons produced in August, 18,933,000 gallons produced by the wells, of which 9,344,000 gallons of consumption registered through customer meters. This works out to 574,000 gallons per day
I
produced
didn't
by...
understand that.
Sorry, I didn't speak very clearly.
Always gotta be something in the
I've
audience.
got this on mute too.
This works out to 574,000 gallons per day produced by the wells, of which 283,000 gallons per day registered through customer meters. It's equivalent customer consumption of 547 gallons per day per service connection at 517 service connections. Unaccounted for water loss is 9,589,000 gallons, or 51% of production totals by the wells.
May I interject just one thing on the, in the sheets that I have here, the spreadsheets that I put together, I'm basing this on calendar days, I think 31 days this month. And he had actually, to match up some of the usage numbers, he had 33 in the variable for days. And so the total 51% remains the same, and the totals that are measured are the same, but just because of the 33 denominator, it changes the individual parsing of the number, some of those.
Okay, and then last year, remember, we had I think it was a wet beginning to August, and July and August, so we didn't produce quite as much water, almost 16 million gallons produced by the wells in August last year, of which 8 million gallons consumption read through customer meters. And you can kind of see the other details up there, but still, if you look down at that bottom line in the second paragraph, 50% of total production by the wells is basically unaccounted for water lost.
Inputs.
2 years ago, 17 million gallons, of which 10 million gallons registered through customer meters, and again, you're looking at that percentage of unaccounted for water loss, 41%. 3 years ago, 12 million gallons, unaccounted for water loss, 29%. You can see it's been increasing over time. Actually, it was a little bit higher 4 years ago in August. 10 million, almost 11 million gallons of water by the wells, and 6,765,000 gallons registered through customer meters, and about 37% unaccounted for water loss. Now, I'll mention to you one of the things that and Ben will mention this in our report still, we still have the old line live in the Farragut State Park. It's live along with the new line because we have to get a special, anyway, Ben will talk about a special method for getting that line shut down without shutting the town down. It's basically
Because the valve
the valve
is not working.
the valve is not working. It's been in there 75 years. It was buried for 75 years. It just won't shut down all the way. I tried it, I got 12 turns out of it. It should get anywhere from 26 to 34 turns out of it. So we knew it was shutting down.
What about the water line up here? That was being replaced. Is that replaced now, or?
No,
Not-
I'll let Ben give the report there. There's kind of an update to that. It's like kind of a yes and no thing. We're working at it. Okay, so that's kind of on the consumption side of things, and I'll give a little bit of a demonstration, show and tell here. The SCADA system, the water system has been completed.
Oh, that's new.
Yeah. So it's the touch screen here. You may not be able to see it, especially Cheryl, you may not be able to see it there, but this reports from the office the level of the water tower, Cape Horn Estates Reservoir, Ponderay Pines Reservoir. It shows the status of the wells, each of the booster stations, Ponderay Pines Booster Station, Cape Horn Estates Booster Station. I haven't played with this yet, but we want to be careful about touching this and playing with it. You can turn a pump on by hand and overflow some tanks, so don't do that. But what I want to explain to you, and I won't show you my phone and tablet can display the same thing, and I can now change it if I'm remote. If something goes on, I can change it right here as I would on the screen.
Can you change that display to display only, so touch wouldn't
Right.
operate it?
I will
in case
look-
somebody wanders in here and wants
I
to.
will look, I believe it's also a double tap function. You have to hit it twice for it to work.
Screen
But,
lock or something.
yeah, but I'll find out because I don't want anybody wandering in on
Yeah,
it.
'cause
Obviously, I would get alarms if there was an issue, and so I can change it from my phone. But I want to let you know that now, this is what we'd love to be able to have control of, especially at the sewer treatment side in the future. So we have no idea what's going on there until on site. Here, I can see anything from anywhere. I have internet access as to what's going on, and can start and stop pumps and things like that.
Now, at a point when we can shut that valve off
Mm-hmm.
and we can segregate the old system
Mm-hmm.
and use only the new.
Right.
At that point, I'm really interested in seeing if that has saved us much as far as leaks
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, it's now we would be able, it'll be easier to tell probably between the wells and the tower, because we have a new distribution meter going out there. that'll be easier to tell, but in terms of overall picture, compared with customer meters, it won't be again until next April when we read customer meters, all the customer meters again. Again, during the winter, we read commercial meters, we do have cellular read meters as well that read anytime we want, but the vast majority of the system is not that way.
Yeah,
Yes, I'm interested in that too.
yeah,
You are.
yeah, we spent a lot of money.
Yes, I want to know what's going
And
on.
to see it's 2023, we finally got
Mhm.
indication that's, indication
uh,
controlling that's kind of
What's
1990s.
going to be involved with shutting that down? I mean,
Why don't we let Ben just give the technical description
Okay,
during
all
this,
right,
and
all
he'll
right.
just
Okay.
explain that there. Two more items on the water system items. We did have a couple of line breaks last month. We had a water line break in the Third Street alley, and it only affected 2 service connections. We got on it immediately, which is nice. We already had Dan Lincoln in the area working on stuff. They got off the one project, went to the other one, repaired it within a couple of hours. And again, it didn't really affect, it only affected 2 customers, so they.
Was it a mainline break or?
Well, it's considered a main line, but it's only like a 2-inch line going down the alley. It only affected 2 people. We were able to isolate
Kind of a
the valves.
sub-service line.
Right. Well, it's kind of that. It's kind of like you're providing service to 2 service connections.
Lateral of sorts.
Yeah, and so we shut it off of the valve. It didn't affect anybody here in town, and that's what we like.
That's the intent.
Sorry, Cheryl, we don't want to be up by in your report for something that affects the entire town. So that's what we like. Okay, then we also had a second line break. We had it happen a year ago at the north end of Corbin. We had one last year, but apparently there may have been a second one. There's an area with a lot of water that comes off the hillside, and we went.
You gotta be fucking kidding me. Well, you put it in that box.
Yeah. In this particular case, it was a saddle that would probably, we don't know if it had been snugged down properly at the beginning, but it was leaking from a saddle to, it's basically a saddle where you connect your service line to somebody's meter. It was leaking from there. And we were able to get it tightened down. We traced the line farther to make sure it was not leaking any further. So those are 2 leaks that we were able to repair in the last month and get taken care of. Okay.